Okay, let's call it that. Happy
Yeah.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We've
All
been doing
right.
this bullshit for a year.
Wow.
We've been sitting around talking about nothing for a year.
For a year. Yeah, that's
For a year.
great. Yeah. I
So
mean,
this is going to be our anniversary episode. And yeah,
yeah.
who
Okay.
knew that we could keep this going for a year?
Thank you to the 7 of you who listen regularly.
Thank you to our 5 loyal listeners. Oh, we're up to almost 600 followers on the TikTok. Yeah,
Well, let's
we've
see
got
if we can't say something controversial today.
exactly. We've got 20 subscribers on the YouTubes. 20. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
And yeah, so we're just chugging along, doing our
we
thing.
are. We are chugging along.
Yeah. So what are you sharing with me today?
Well, I am torn. I'm going to share Z, but I'm not going to give specifics because I was excited at first and now I'm disappointed. There
Mm,
is an Instagram, and it is somebody who I'm going to assume works in a large parking lot, and there's, when somebody tries to do something wrong, like move the cone or go in the exit or do whatever, he makes funny comments, and I thought that was fun and I enjoyed that. But then there was a video, and I don't know if she, I'm assuming he reposted or if he filmed it, but it was in my opinion, and my threshold's pretty big, that it went over the line with a comment that was completely unnecessary and didn't like have anything to do with what he was like. It didn't make sense. Like it was against a specific group of people that was complete. I don't know. It was too much for me. So if it was too much for me, I'm all for making fun of people for doing something stupid. And stupidity knows no race, color, stupidity is everywhere, and I am for stupidity mocking. But this wasn't even somebody being stupid. It was just somebody walking, and he made a comment. And I'm like, okay,
oh,
I'm out.
yeah.
I was kind of sad, but like he had only had a handful of posts, and like within a couple of weeks had like 12,000 followers. Like,
Yeah.
because the things he would like, that's how. But anyways, I was
He's
happy,
just
but then
making fun
sad.
of random people just
He made
based on how they
he made
look.
an
Yeah.
anti-Semitic comment that didn't even have,
Oh,
and I don't even know that it was accurate. It was just not fun. So I don't. But like there was one where he like somebody goes to move the sign and he's all naughty naughty. I'm like, oh, it's funny, right? It's funny. It's funny. But
yeah.
and
That's
then
disappointing.
there was one other online thing that now I don't know if around the world I don't know how often like street takeovers happen, but in good old Los Angeles and its surroundings, street takeovers are big, right? So 300 people somehow all meet at the same intersection, and then they all block it off, and they do they do all kinds of
Right.
crazy stuff.
They burnouts and
They do,
it's
yes, and there's people cheering and fire, like
right.
it's always
Trying to outdo each
somebody.
other with the
Whatever,
cars
it's
and
stupid.
yeah,
It's
tricks
there
and
should
yeah.
we should find an empty lot for them to go do that somewhere. Like I'm all for you guys doing that thing, but let's not do it. There is a video of a young couple. I'm assuming couple, but young. I'm gonna guess 18 to 22, and they get hit. Her leg gets run over. Like they slow it down, it gets run over. When the friend like picks her up to move her leg is like half. It's dangling by like she
Mm.
lost that leg. I don't think you
Oh,
could repair that. And then the guy gets hit and slams his head, and he is knocked out cold. And all his friends are like dragging him and moving. I'm like, you
yeah,
I
shake him.
get you should move. You don't like it was so bad. But of course the crazy. I'd watched it and I'm like, this is insane. Like, just don't
Yeah.
stand back. Like, it's a car and it's going to saw your leg in half and have it dangle. And now a 18, 19-year-old girl is probably going to lose her leg.
Yeah.
It
That's
was gnarly.
awful.
Yeah, gnarly.
Yeah, things go from fun to,
Mm-mm. Like that.
deadly
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, I was at work and listening to the radio, and they were talking about who's buying timeshares these days? And that caught my interest because being in the timeshare industry for 20 plus years, I thought, yeah, who is buying that shit these days? Gen Z is quickly becoming over half, like 54% of new buyers of timeshares are Gen Zs. Now they're
Interesting.
surpassing the millennials. The millennials were half of the timeshare market. So the boomers are dying. And, the kids don't want their timeshares.
Right.
And so the new model is it's not a deeded, thing where you have to go certain week or a certain season of the year. It's all points now. So depending on what level you want to be at, how much you want, it determines how much you pay. Now they make their money on financing that. So,
Oh yeah.
your buy-in
Oof.
is $10,000 and you get this, this, and this, and this. But you don't have to pay that all at once. You can finance it and you get a credit card along with it. So you can use that to buy stuff when you're at your resorts, or you can
Sure.
use it for air travel and cruises and blah, blah, blah. So
Of
that's how
course.
they get you. And so apparently the explanation is that the Gen Zers, they're not buying cars, they're not buying new homes, they're not, spending their money on that kind of stuff. A lot of them are still living with their parents. So they have that money to spend on these timeshare vacations.
I wonder
And
what
some
the
of them,
usage percentage is, like if they're maxing it, like if they're doing it.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that answer because mine was the old school deeded timeshare. I
Yeah.
know how many people didn't use it. So, and couldn't get out of it. So with the points now, and most of the companies, they have a buyback program as well, an exit program. So they just take your points and resell them. It's not like you have to change over a deed. It's like, okay, you're done. We're going to take those points, put them back in the pool, sell them to somebody else. So it's a lot more flexible than it used to be. And, um, you know, it kind of blew my hair back. I was like, wow, wow. Complaining
That's
that
wild.
food's too expensive and gas is too expensive, but you're buying a timeshare.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I suppose the theory is I can't afford to live on my own, so I'm going to just do this thing and go hop from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine that there's probably some thought that it's really more than it really is. Like they might be able to sustain like not living at home by doing this every day, and like a vagabond, right? It's
Right.
instead of a moving van, it's parked rooms all over the place that I'm just
Right.
paying and it's I don't think it's quite that flexible.
Well, and it all depends on what level you own.
Sure.
Are you gold
Yeah.
level, silver level, bronze level, VIP level? You know, are you blocked out certain dates, certain times of the year?
Yeah.
It's all relevant.
Interesting.
So
I might
I
have to
thought that
take a
was
little
interesting. I
might
was
have to
like,
take a little
ooh,
stroll
hmm,
down that lane and just kind of
interesting.
look into it and
Yeah, see what's going on there.
do some tapping to see what happens.
So, in honor of our year anniversary of putting on a show, we're going to do some updates on some things that we've talked about, touched on, mused about, wondered. Um, so the first thing that came to my mind was, do it, lady. What's Chit up to?
Dude,
Do it, lady.
Chit's got a whole like thing. He does a whole
Yeah,
thing.
he's got a
Chit's
full-on YouTube channel
yeah,
and
yeah.
with
And a
like
merch shop?
seasons and everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of did a little search and he's still going, and but at the end of each season they say, is this the final finale? Is this it? Are we done?
Yeah, hook
So
you.
he's got a couple seasons in the bag. So we'll see if he keeps going, but I don't know. Are people still saying do it, lady?
Well, my kids are saying it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a valid poll. They actually said it to me this morning. Well, Becca said it to me this morning when I sent her a picture of myself with the remnants of the s'mores cinnamon roll that I took a giant bite of all over my face.
And she said do it,
And she
lady.
said, "Do it, lady." I don't know. Maybe.
Nice. Yeah. So that was the one that came to my mind.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't. I don't- some of the algorithms are just, they're not good. Like I don't know. I would think I would have seen more of his stuff. Maybe I don't know if I follow him or not, but even sometimes when
Hmm.
I follow somebody, I don't see their stuff enough that it's like you have to purposely go in and click the look at the people I follow button and then just
Right.
see
Yeah.
that. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody understands it. Nobody
Yeah.
gets it.
Mr. Beast does.
Yeah. He cracked the code.
He cracked it.
Yeah. I'm kind of amazed at, the how Diet Coke is just exploding all over the world. I mean, it's always been there, but like within the last year, it just seems like Diet Coke is having a renaissance of sorts. And people just love it. They want to talk about it. They want to, they have these taste challenges where they do a blind taste test and you have to
Love
figure
those.
out, is this a can? Is this a bottle? Is this fountain? Is this McDonald's Diet Coke? And, it's the Diet Cokers, they know their shit.
But I wonder if there is that much Pepsi content, if you liked Pepsi as much as I like Diet Pepsi as much as I like Diet
Hmm.
Coke. Like I wonder. There may be. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
Yeah.
want
I
to start. I
mean,
don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
see,
I can't click it.
I like Pepsi. I'm a
There,
Pepsi
start
girl.
clicking some Pepsi stuff and see what comes up. Maybe you'll get more
Diet Coke
Pepsi stuff.
hurts. It hurts to drink.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it
that's
again. It
the burn. I
hurts when I
fucking
drink it.
feel the burn.
Oh, it burns. It hurts.
I know. That's why
I
it's
like
called
my
the
Diet
fridge
Pepsi,
sig.
but I don't drink it. It's soda. I don't drink it very often. So, but yeah, the fridge sig. I just kind of like. I just was musing about how Diet Coke really went wild on the socials
I
and how
feel
much people just
like
love it. They're loyal to it.
yes. I feel like if you say to a Diet Coke person, is Diet Pepsi okay? The answer is a hard no. And if you
Hmm.
say to a Diet Pepsi person, is Diet Coke okay? They're probably going to be like, meh, yeah. They're not as anti the other
Right.
thing as much as the Diet Coke
Well, and
people.
here's the thing is Coke pretty much dominates the distribution for most outlets. If you open a
Yeah.
restaurant and you need to get, a soda set up, it's going to be Coke because they pay for the equipment usually for you. It's
Oh,
included in the deal. So that's why you see Coke so much more than Pepsi. Now, regionally, this is a Pepsi town. Most of the places here have Pepsi. But usually when we're eating somewhere, you'll say, do you have Coke or
pretty, yeah.
Pepsi? And they'll say, oh, we have Pepsi. Okay, great. No, is Coke okay? That's fine. You know.
I'd say it's a decent mix around my town for like non-chains, and Diet Coke definitely takes the nod a little, but there's
Mm-hmm.
enough Diet Pepsi places around restaurants that have, just
Right.
locally. And I think Garden Grove, maybe. What I think we've got a city near that's like touted as only like that's if it's in a city kind of that's their brand, like it's
Mm-hmm.
sponsored and they've got advertising and stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah, the so in Flagstaff, the arena there it's Pepsi. It's the
yeah, right.
knackered
So then, yeah,
Pepsi arena.
yeah.
So there you have it.
And along with
But
that may come with like there are certain things that like there may be certain like written into whatever that like if all
hmm
future whatever's have to be, or things in this building have to be, they may have some requirements that go with that. I don't
right.
know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know corporate contracts.
Yeah,
It's not my
and if
thing.
you're a franchisee, sometimes that's part of the deal is it
Yep.
has to be Coke products and the equipment is
Colleges too.
included and yep,
Yeah, I think
that kind of
colleges will.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just thought that was interesting what a loyalty there is. And do you remember
Yes.
when New Coke came out?
It was gross.
And I was working at Marineland at the time, and we had switched over to New Coke. And when people would order, and they'd say, what kind of soda? Oh, is it New Coke? I don't want it. They didn't
It
want
wasn't
it.
good. It
No, it
didn't
wasn't
last
good.
very long, I don't think.
And did you ever wonder if that was some mastermind marketing thing to, oh, we're going to bring back classic Coke and it's going to
Right,
explode,
yeah. I
right?
mean, I
I
feel like
mean, you got to
everything
wonder.
could possibly be at this point. Like I am
Yeah.
always just never. I'm so much more suspicious of like now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you can like access certain things or people start
Right.
talking about it, right? If that was the marketing campaign, you probably could have kept it pretty quiet because there's going to be a small group of people that know, and like they're not necessarily going to tell anyone, or even if they told a couple people, like it's not going to spread. Nowadays, you can't keep anything quiet, like, and that's one of the things when people talk about like, oh, the when we went to the landing on the moon was fake. Do you know how many people you'd have to keep quiet and not like to I just don't think humans can.
No,
I don't think
we
people can
can't.
do that.
We can't
I
keep
don't think people
secrets.
can keep that quiet.
Nope.
Like if it's right, if it's like something slightly smaller, like the assassination of JFK, and you've only got like 6 people that are kind of in the know, you might be able to. But if you got to have more than 10 to 15 people that can't say, that's too many. It's not
Yeah.
happening, I don't think.
Yeah. Um, okay. You know what's coming up next weekend that I talked about last year? The annual Cowboy Poetry Gathering here in Prescott,
That's
Arizona.
right. The cowboy
So
poetry gathering.
I'm going to
Did you buy a ticket?
try. No, I'm trying to, because they have a mix of free and paid things that you can go to. I'm going to try, see if I can find a free one that I can just, slide in there and do for like 20 minutes and then get the hell out of there, but it may not happen. So we'll see. And I may write some cowboy poetry. We'll see in honor. But yeah, that's coming up next weekend.
Make a haiku.
I might do a haiku. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now I kind of went down the little slightly morbid and was like, what are some of the news stories and court cases? And ironically enough, there is a new um 3 series documentary on the Brian Koberger case that takes like actual footage. So James Patterson did a book, and it's slightly sensationalized. It's not greatly sensationalized, and he doesn't say that it's greatly, like he knows that there's some things that were a little bit more made up for the storytelling aspect
Mm-hmm.
of it, or he took some liberties with things that you just didn't know that might make sense, but a lot of it was extremely based off of what was happening. And so this 3-part series is kind of like the perspective of the police officers and the investigation and kind of how it went. And they've got live footage. And ironically enough, I don't know if they launched it because he wants to like reel his confession back and wants to withdraw his guilty plea, or if it was coincidentally at the same time. But he would like to withdraw his guilty plea because of inept counsel and unkept promises.
Now remind us who he is, what
Brian
his crime
Kober
was.
he is the guy that murdered the 4 college students in Idaho.
Idaho. Got it. Yep.
Idaho, yep. The 3-part series it's it's interesting, and it kind of like it gives you that perspective about there's definitely always things going on in the background. And yeah, you might think that they're not telling you things, and they're not, for sure not telling you things, because they have to keep some of that stuff kind of
Right.
on the back burner. But there was a lot going on in the back. And so they talk a little bit about the things they were doing that they couldn't obviously share at the time. And so, it was a collective effort between a lot of people and taking a lot of puzzle pieces and putting them together to come to the conclusion. I don't know that if he got a retrial, but I don't know if he could get a not guilty plea. Like I don't think I think there is so many puzzle pieces that fit really well together.
Yeah.
That it's enough for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that was that
Well,
was
that kind of
ironic that those
leads
things came at the same time.
that kind of leads me into Nancy Guthrie and what's
Yes.
happening there. So
This still
Savannah
blows my
Guthrie's
mind.
Yeah, Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie, was abducted from her home in Tucson back in February. And so it turns out that there were there was a ransom note sent like to CNN and a couple other news outlets, basically for the ransom demands.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin, they wanted Bitcoin, 4
Yeah.
million in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Like
because you
that
can't
doesn't leave a
trace it.
trail.
Can't trace
And
it.
then basically there was a second note sent like a week later that this just kind of came out recently that basically said she's dead. We didn't mean to kill her. We didn't realize how serious her heart condition was. She died shortly after we took her. Sorry, you know, nothing we can do. Now they've come under criticism that why wasn't that released? Well, like you said, the police, they don't release everything. They got to keep some things under wraps so they know that they're dealing with the right people and not crackpot whackpots that want to insert themselves into, some sensationalized true crime case. So basically she was dead, shortly after they took her. We're pretty sure
I
she's
believe
dead.
that as well. Like
And
I
so
believed that shortly
yeah,
after, within a week, I
I
believed.
mean, having a heart
Yeah.
condition and going through
And
that
not having
trauma, not
yeah, and
having your
not having
medication,
meds.
and I think the family at this point is like, where is she? We just want her body so we can bury her and, do what we need to do. So that's kind of where that's at. But that's really sad. Now, what was the motive? What was the motive behind taking her specifically?
Yeah.
And I think one of the theories is that it was, the brother-in-law was managing her money and then she essentially fired him and maybe there was some kind of embezzlement. We don't know. But that's kind of a prevailing theory, I think.
It is. It is.
And so, but I mean, nobody's been arrested. The Tucson investigators have come under heavy fire. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That happens every time. And doesn't the FBI pretty much swoop in and take over in this type of a
Yeah.
case? So
Yes.
you got to blame, they got to blame somebody. So,
Yeah.
it's
They'll
always
throw any loose. They'll throw something under
yeah,
the bus that doesn't,
it's always the
the,
local police or the local
yeah.
detectives. Oh, they screwed
Yeah.
it up and they
Yep.
botched this
Well,
and
and
that.
that
And it's
was,
like, well, come on.
that's what they were trying to say with like the Idaho case is that they
Hmm.
like a small town, they don't know what they're doing. And
Right.
and they knew that they didn't know and they did all the things that they could and then they immediately called the
Right.
FBI in to help and they were working very closely with them from the beginning because this is
Right.
a tiny small town. They've never had
Yeah,
4 murders probably in a year, let alone all at once.
exactly. Well, and
It was
if
heartbreaking.
if my true crime detective shows have taught me anything, it's that the local guys, well, we don't want the FBI coming in. This is our case, and we're not sharing any information, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, I don't think you have a choice when it's
Yeah,
something like
you
this.
you
The
you
FBI
don't.
gets involved, and it's like, all right, move aside. This is, thank you, we got this. So,
Now, speaking of sidebar,
hmm
um, murder podcasts, the list of top revenue generating podcasts came out, and Crime Junkie was way up there with
mm,
double. I don't know if it was like 12 million or 20 million, but somewhere in that double digit low million
yeah,
range. And I'm like, that's like,
yeah,
I mean, it's our future, Karen. We're there.
yeah,
We're in 17
yeah.
more
Oh yeah.
years.
Well, I listen to My Favorite Murder, and that's really the only one that I still listen to. I've tried out some of the other ones, but it's like the thing is there's only so many cases, and a lot of the shows kind of tend to do the same
Yep.
historical cases or the high
Yeah.
profile ones. Now, the My Favorite Murder, they've kind of branched out into other types of stories. So it's not necessarily a murder. It could be a tragedy. Like they did one about the like a dam that broke or something, like a town gets wiped out,
Right.
something like that.
Got it.
They've kind of branched out into other, like they'll do a high profile scam type of case.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps kind of mix it up because it's like, how many times can I hear the John Bonet case? How many times
Yeah.
can we
I
hear,
mean, that's another one
you
that's
know,
like, gee, good Lord, that we didn't,
yeah,
that's, we couldn't get that one right.
yeah. So, well, and then that leads me into early on, we talked about a case out in Cabazon,
Yeah.
California,
Yeah.
out near Palm Springs, of I think he was what, 7, 8 months old. He was
Something
less
like
than a
that.
year
Yeah.
old.
Less than a year.
Emmanuel Haro.
Yep.
was allegedly kidnapped at a Big Five parking lot. And I mean, I don't want to laugh because it's
I
sad.
know it's
Uh,
terrible, but
it's
it's like
terrible.
you knew right
You're
away.
right. And the mother claimed that she was punched in the face and
Yeah.
someone blacked
Said
out, someone
Olaf.
took the kid. Um, Turns out that the husband essentially murdered the child, had a history, a previous conviction for child abuse. Um, Now he got 32 years to life, I believe, essentially a murder sentence, and the mother got, I want to say 12, 13
Yeah, I
years.
was gonna say somewhere in the 10-ish.
Yeah, for not intervening because she knew that, the kid was suffering, and she covered it up with the Big Five story, and no body still has been recovered.
I mean, it's a tiny little body, and if you're throwing it
Mm-hmm.
in a big, if you're either burying it or putting it in some
Right.
sort of you're
Trash
just,
receptacle.
it's
Yeah.
that's a tough
Well,
one to.
and there was a moment where the dad was leading police
Yeah,
around some field where they thought that they might have buried him, and they
you got all
didn't.
kinds of critters out there in the fields
Yeah,
that
it
could
didn't
have.
uncover anything. So whether that's
Yeah,
where they dumped him and an animal took him away, or you know he was disposed of somewhere
poor little
else.
thing.
And yeah, just sad though. And so that brought out Mr. Ahmed Bolozo
Yep,
on the tira,
on the tita.
OTT. And so he is a an ex-convict who, during his incarceration, watched a lot of Huell Hauser, California's Gold, and investigative reporter style shows. So he started his own kind of man on the street, or they like to call him the homie on the street, because he is
Yeah,
Hispanic.
and
And
it's you can kind
yeah,
of hear it like in his voice, the when he
mhm,
like his cadence a little bit, and you can see how it's definitely from there. He's fun.
yeah.
He's fun.
So he's there when there's a fire, a
Yeah.
police chase, a car
Yeah.
crash, some
Anything in
kind
his
of
general area, yeah.
anything. So he jumped on this Emmanuel Haro case and was reporting, kind of from the beginning that something was not
A
right.
miss. Yeah.
And so he actually has had some controversy
He has. He is not
surrounding him
without himself.
because he kind of does what we do, where we don't fact check a whole lot before we throw things out there. And so the true crime community kind of jumped all over him.
Yeah.
Now, you got to understand who the true crime community is. It's middle-aged menopausal women like ourselves who at way too young of an age watched a lot of Forensic Files,
Yes.
America's
Yes.
Most Wanted,
Yeah.
Dateline, City
Mhm.
Confidential, all those true crime shows. So you've got like a lot of energy behind, the true crime world. And so he got kind of blasted for, look at, you're putting half truths and speculation out there. You're interviewing people that, may have seen something, may not have seen something. The police are kind of like, hey, dial it back because we need to do this correctly. And that can cause like vigilanteism if you're
Mhm.
throwing things
And it
out there like,
does.
oh,
Yeah.
we think it was that guy over there, let's get him. You don't we don't want that. That can be dangerous. So he's had to dial it back. But he's also fighting cancer. He's got a
Yeah.
type of leukemia. The last I saw, he's still getting his chemo injections and waiting for a bone marrow transplant. So he's still out there, doing his thing and bringing us the poop. So
Now,
that's an update on that.
yes. Now, right before the Christmas time, we had the local LA tragedy of Rob Reiner and his wife being murdered. And at the time,
By their
I
son,
don't know
right?
by their son, but I don't
Yeah.
think like the second it was announced, it was just like the announcement that came over was two bodies were found at the home of Rob Reiner.
Hmm.
I immediately went, oh, somebody's staying in his house and it's a murder suicide. Like I didn't think
Right.
somebody killed. I didn't think, and I think they obviously they worded it that way because they didn't know at the time. Like you just assume that's what it was, but then it comes out that it was Nick Reiner, and his update is not so good.
Mm.
He is spending some time in the delightful Twin Towers in Los Angeles, which which
Mm.
is LAPD, LA County Sheriff. Their like kind of holding cell, and is very famous for not being so nice, and it's kind of
Nope.
run down. It's a mess. He is lost a lot of his privileges. He's very hostile. He is erratic. He is losing weight. He is clearly going through a mental crisis after crisis.
Right.
And the last real thing that was kind of up was he was trying to get access to his trust money. And now there's going to be certainly some family discussions about it. I don't know, obviously don't know what the will and the trust say, but I think there is definitely I think there's some justification to not just give him anything, but at the same time that he's going through something that I feel like the family would give him like some access to, especially to try and help him not. I don't
Money
know.
at
That's a
least
tough, like,
for the defense. Yeah.
yeah. For the defense, and like if he needs commissary, like, right, not to be
Hmm.
buying the whole wing cigarettes, but if he wants a cup of noodles, like he should be
Yeah.
able to get a couple noodles. I mean,
Now, did he have a previous mental health diagnosis before?
yes,
He
he
was like
did. Yeah.
schizophrenic or something like that,
Yeah,
or
he's got a
something.
bipolar schizophrenia,
Okay.
something
Okay.
that was not just borderline, like it was pretty
Right.
significant. I think he'd been in
Right.
and out of a couple of
Okay.
facilities,
I
and
thought so. Yeah. I thought I remembered
there
that.
was some med changes that maybe kind of contributed to this specific, and I don't know if he. The unfortunate thing with people who usually have this bipolar and or right, they don't feel the same on their meds, and so
Right.
but that's what keeps them stable, and they're
Or
the up and
yeah,
down.
they start
They
feeling good and they think they
better,
don't
and they
need
say,
them, or
yeah,
they don't want to
that's
deal with the side effects, so they stop taking them. Yeah.
yeah.
Understood.
It's
Yeah.
tough, man. I mean, mental health it is a real tragic
Yeah.
thing, and it's unfortunate. And his next court date is September 15th, where I think they're going to discuss access to the trust and some other
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's,
Okay.
that one's always fun around
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
the Hollywood scene.
Any more crime cases before we pivot?
I do. I mean,
Okay.
not that we've talked about before, but I think I wanted we had to have mentioned the David Celeste Rivas, where they found the body in the back of the Tesla, dismembered. I don't know if we talked a lot about it, but that is
I don't remember.
that is a crazy. So David is, I think he spells it D number 4 VID, or some weird whatever, up and coming pop star, was starting to gain some popularity, and in a Tesla that was towed away, that was parked somewhere illegally for too long, and they towed it, and then they found a dismembered body in it. It turned out to be a 14-year-old girl named Celeste Rivas. And come to kind of go through, this was his car. They've done the things they've done, and they've determined that he was he's over 18. I think he's in his young 20s. Started a relationship with this 13-year-old, and then she turned 14, and she got pregnant and didn't want to have an abortion, and then ended up dismembered in the back of a Tesla. And it's
Wow.
awful. It's terrible. And the reports that are coming out are just they have to give like certain descriptions in some of these preliminary hearings, and they're awful. And I guess
Mm.
her family has like gotten up and left the courtroom mid
Oh, yeah.
discussion because it's been so bad. I don't know that I don't know that I'd want to sit through this part of it, but I think they want to be there to make sure that he does get convicted. So he's
Right.
being held without bail. He probably will get convicted of murder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a story.
It's I mean, good Lord, like, dude, we don't have to murder and dismember, like, we don't have to kill people. There's too many.
Yeah.
There's too many.
It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out.
It doesn't. Like, let's just go on our merry way.
All right, so I'm gonna pivot.
Okay.
Um, my beloved Cracker Barrel, the
Oh, the
CEO
Cracker Barrel.
responsible for the rebranding fiasco, has resigned.
As he probably should.
She actually.
She, okay.
Bye
Well, yeah,
bye.
even
So they took away Herschel in his rocker, then they brought back Herschel in his rocker, and to the logo, and yeah, there was quite an uproar about that, and so she has officially resigned. So Cracker Barrel is back with Herschel, serving crappy food with an amusing atmosphere. So, um, how about has 6-7 finally gone away?
I
Six
mean,
seven, six
we're
seven. I mean, it
yeah, I
made the
think so, but we're
dictionary,
also
but is anyone still saying
yeah,
it?
I don't think so, but we're also like in like school's going to start coming back. I
This
think
is
we'll
true.
see some new ones. I think 6-7 will start to die down. But that's I think that's a that will be we'll have to
So
wait and
one to
see.
watch, one to
So one to
watch.
watch for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I mean, you
We
never know
had
with middle schoolers.
true. Now we had tried to start a campaign to bring back Spaz,
Yes.
Groovy, Keep
Yes.
on Truckin', and
Yes.
Start Digging in Your Butt Twin. And I don't know how successful we've been. I mean, I've always said Spaz, so that
Yeah.
one, that's just. But I
I
I
feel when
tried Groovy
appropriate,
at
I've said it. Yeah.
tried Groovy at work a few times. I've had people say, I'm like, oh, how are you today? I'm Groovy. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So,
people claiming that they enjoyed Groovy and they were going to take it on their own, and I've given them full permission and encouraged them to do so. But I don't necessarily see those people again, so I don't
mm,
know whether or not they're using it. But it is something it's now, I say it more frequently because I've said it so many times. Instead of like, oh, fine, how are you? I say, oh, I'm Groovy. How are you?
Groovy.
Like it's just, it is my natural response, and it still people still enjoy it. So I think
Good.
I mean I think we might be getting minimal for that one for sure.
Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
just keep
And you
carrying
just
on
have to
with
keep
that.
doing it. You
Yeah,
just got to keep doing it. You just keep
gotta be
saying it to the
consistent.
populars. Yeah. I don't know that I'm going to probably, I'm going to be honest, I have not been digging in my butt a lot. Like, I don't, that's just, I don't really work in an environment that it is appropriate to bring up.
Start digging in
And
your butt, Dwayne.
that one is not, it is not office friendly.
No, it's
Spaz is
not.
probably okay. Groovy is okay.
Keep on trucking.
Uh,
Yeah.
Keep on trucking would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say that one, and the reason I don't like keep on trucking, and this is no dig to the collective people of um Alcoholics Anonymous, because I think that it does wonders for a lot of people. But my biological father used to say keep on trucking, and I don't know if it was like a him thing or if it was an AA thing or whatever. So
Oh,
I don't
oh,
like
I
that
don't know
because
either.
I don't
Yeah.
speak to him. So I
Yeah. I
don't.
just
That's
remember the t-shirts in the 70s. Keep
yeah,
on trucking.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With a big
I'm
truck.
a plug it. I'm a
Yeah.
plugging away. Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of that. But yeah, groovy is groovy.
All
On
right.
Fridays you're super groovy. That's my
That's right. Super groovy.
yep, super
Yeah.
groovy on Fridays. Yeah.
Nice. Um, we need an animal welfare update.
Yes.
Mars, the pygmy hippo, he's a year old now.
Oh,
Yes, he was born a year ago in the Tanganyika Wildlife Park. It's
yep.
somewhere in, I think, Kansas. Kansas? Yeah. He was 13 pounds when he was born. And at a year old, he's about 125, 130 pounds now.
Good
And
for him.
so he will grow to be 400 to 600 pounds adult size. Yeah. So he's doing good. And that has done wonders for that park, zoo, whatever we're calling it, animal preserve.
Nice.
It exploded online and tons of visitors, probably tons of money flowing in there, donations to keep that place going. They have a lot of other animals too now that they've kind of branched out, and they show a lot of, I think they have a baby giraffe that was born. So you can see all that on their social pages. But yeah, he's doing good. Such a cutie pie. Little potato
Nice.
rolling around in the dirt and swimming and yeah. And also, we need to do a little update on Punch the monkey. So
He's got a
Punch
new
is
family
also
in
he's
France, right?
also a
Doing
year
well,
old. He's
thriving.
also a year old. He's thriving. He's fully integrated into, I guess you call a group of monkeys a troop. So he's
Okay.
fully integrated into the troop, and he's actually like a little big brother to like new members now. So
Aw,
he's not the new kid anymore, and so he helps the new babies assimilate into the troop. But
nice. I
he's
love
doing
that.
he's doing well. Good old Punch.
Now I do have some not so great news for our friend Jackie. Jackie and Shadow are the eagles up in Big Bear,
Mm.
and there's a live camera, and they have eaglets, and I get mesmerized every time they have an eaglet because they are so fascinating to watch. But
Mm-hmm.
Jackie apparently got into a little squabble with some other birds and wasn't doing well. So somebody got her and brought her to a raptor sanctuary in Ojai, and we're doing some things, and they've just found that she's got like low iron, and they don't know if she's got lead. Like they just a lot of health issues,
Hmm.
and they're trying to kind of get her back. She was responding well to treatment. She was in the ICU. I don't know that. I don't know what the future holds for her, but everybody was very worried about her. She's, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, kind of improving. And then you get the like uh you see Shadow like another bird will fly by or he'll fly, and then the talks of, Shadow stepping out on Jackie and the it's just silly
There's a
goofy stuff
whole
that is
there's a
like
whole
I don't
like
know,
Peyton Place going on here.
there's a whole there's a whole fabricated like there's a whole soap opera about it that's very funny. It makes me laugh. It's goofy and um like I don't think they make per life. Like I don't know the bird.
No, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
They
But she's improving. So
good, good,
I don't
good.
know. They don't know if she'll
Um,
be back fully, but she is improving.
Now, I've kind of kept everybody up to date on Kevin, my little bunny friend at work. There's so many of them. I don't know which one's Kevin anymore. It's not like he has a distinctive mark. There's a whole like group of them. But yes, I think it was my boss that might have been feeding them. Somebody told me that it was him. But yeah, I found carrots out there one day, and I don't not haven't seen a lot of them lately because it's so hot. They're not out frolicking. But Kevin's doing okay as far as I know. Kevin and his little family. Yeah, everybody needs a work friend. There's one of the places that Tom delivers to. They have a roadrunner named, oh God, what's his name? Is it Stuart or Isaac or Lawrence? Something like that. It'll come to me, and I'll remember. But yeah, they have a little roadrunner that kind of hangs out.
Roadrunners are
So
fun to watch.
yeah,
They
everybody
are.
needs a work friend. Work friend.
We used to have a party in the booth. We used to have a gopher that would pop its little head
Mm-hmm.
up, and I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to the gopher.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't either.
Um, back in was it March earlier this year, around St. Patrick's Day, we did a review of Netflix show House of Guinness about the
Yeah.
Guinness family, Guinness beer. And there is definitely a season 2 coming. However, they will not start filming until early 2027. So I don't know when we'll be actually able to see the show.
Probably 2028.
Right. So it's gonna be a little bit before we
Yeah.
before we see it. Yeah.
I'm trying to think there was another
Elliot, that's the name of the
series.
Roadrunner. Elliot.
Okay.
Okay.
Elliot.
There we go. Yeah.
There was another series that did the same thing, and I think it was just because they weren't sure how good it was going to do, and then it did really well, but then other people were on other projects and they couldn't, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's just how long it took to do it. But I
It might
love
have been the
those.
Gilded Age. Was it the Gilded Age?
There's probably a whole bunch of them, but
Because that was during COVID, they were able to get a lot of those actors because Broadway was shut down. So
right,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
those
yeah.
Broadway actors were like, "Yeah, I'm free, I'll do it." And then when they went to make the subsequent seasons, it was like, "Oh, it's going to be a little wait." It might have been that. I'm not sure, but a couple things. some fashion trends that we need to check in on.
Oh,
We talked about the bullnose ring bracelets that young girls were wiping out Tractor Supply bullnose rings and making bracelets out of them. Also, girls were chopping up their bras and making bracelets out of their bra straps to give
and I never
to
really saw any.
a boy they liked or a boyfriend. And
Yeah,
I never saw either. But then again, I'm not around
I don't. I'm
teenagers
not.
all that
Yeah,
much, and I'm not looking.
I'm not either.
So maybe with school going back in, we might see, either that or something else. But with the bullnose ring bracelets, I know that like Cartier was making one, and like some of the big time jewelers kind of jumped on that trend and were
You gotta
were
strike while
making
the
their own
iron is
versions of them, and
hot.
it's like, okay. But yeah, to this day, have not seen one. Um, those dumpling toys that were really popular, I think around Christmas time. It was like a squishy
Probably.
toy that came in
Yeah.
like a plastic container that looked like when you order dumplings at a Chinese restaurant. Um, they've recalled some of them. Not the original ones, but the imitation ones, apparently, because the outer layer contains a toxic concentration of benzene.
Now, I was watching
Crazy.
to was watching To Catch a Smuggler, as I do. And the customs group, they will open big cases of stuff that are
Hmm.
coming from different countries and test. And the amount of like way too high concentrations of like lead in paint
Uh-huh.
on toys that are coming for children, I'm like, I did, like you don't
Yeah.
think of those things
No.
because you assume that they're all okay. They're not all okay.
So
Be
I
very
remember
cautious.
back in this was back in our just turned 21 days. Um, I remember Perrier. They had to recall that Perrier water because it had like too high concentrations of benzene based on I guess the filtering process or however they made the Perrier water, and it just reminded me of that. I'm like, oh, benzene, can't get away from it. We're still using it.
Still, it's
So,
still solid.
yeah. So I had to laugh. I'm like, oh God, toxic toys. Okay. What else do you have?
Um, mm, if we actually talked about it when it was happening, but the big I don't think so because I might have been before we started. But Shohei Otani, the
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers pitcher who got caught in this big gambling scandal, there is a 30 for 30, which we kind of all knew that was coming. But like a snippet of audio was leaked of a recording saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's me," like saying that he needs to have this money transferred and it was for this thing, and it is 100% not Shohei Otani. Like it is
Right.
clearly not him because whoever was on the phone was speaking much more clearly English and not very broken, and it was like it'll be interesting to watch. I think there's
Yeah.
there's a that's a that's
Yeah, I don't know if we
wild.
talked about that. Um,
No,
the last thing I have is just following up, checking in on our New Year's resolutions.
I don't. Did I
Um,
make a New Year's resolution?
you did actually.
I did. I 100%
Um,
am not.
well, you wanted to just eat healthier and kind of cut out
Nope.
sugar as much as
No.
possible.
Yeah, I shoved a s'mores cinnamon roll in my face this morning. That's how it's going.
Well, and
I
mine
will
was,
say,
yeah,
I have been eating more fiber and really focusing on eating more fiber.
good.
So that much has happened. Pretty
And you're doing your
consistently.
yoga, right?
I
Kind of?
I've taken a little stop. I'm having a little bit of a back thing, and the yoga's
Hmm.
making it worse. The back thing's getting better, so I got to do some more back strengthening, and then I'll jump back into yoga. It's been a
Yeah.
couple weeks, so probably another couple weeks. Do some strengthening, get that back because it was doing weird numbing stuff all down the left side of my body in weird places. So I'm like, I got to get this fucking under control.
Hmm.
So we're getting close. It takes forever when you get old.
I know, it's
When you're
harder. You got to
in
stretch
your
more
30s, you
and
fix that shit real fast.
yeah. Well, I am still going strong with my disdain and dislike and distaste for Oprah Winfrey. So, she can't do anything right as far as I'm concerned. And I am eating ranch dressing with my veggies at lunch every day now,
Job.
So not a lot. I mean, just I take a little container and that'll last me like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, I was eating them plain. I don't know why. Ranch
Ranch is so
dressing.
good.
It's a beautiful thing.
Ranches. And I
Yeah.
like to make my own so I can jack the dill really high.
See, I
Mm-mm-mm.
like dill, but I don't like a really heavy dill ranch. I like I make my own with just the
Mhm.
packet. And now if you
Now
use
I,
buttermilk, that makes
yeah,
it, I just
yep,
use regular milk, but,
yeah.
and Duke's
There's,
mayonnaise.
yes, I was gonna say there's some different varying, right? It's basically mayonnaise, buttermilk, sour cream, yogurt. Now, there's a restaurant over here that we love their homemade, and they use crema fraiche. And I'm like, I never
Mm,
even thought to do that. It's not quite
yeah.
as tart as the sour cream. So next time I make it, I think I'm gonna use some
Yeah,
crema
I don't use
fraiche.
sour cream, just the packet
Yeah.
and whole milk and Duke's mayonnaise. That's it.
Yeah, I just kind of mix a
That's, I mean,
bunch of that
I'm
stuff
not
together.
averse to a dill ranch,
Yeah,
but mm, I
that's
like a
fine.
lot of dill in my chicken salad.
Yeah.
But dill has to stay in its lane for me.
Okay. That's
But
fair.
yeah,
That is
that's all I
fair.
got on updates.
That's
So
all I think I got on the
yeah,
updates. Let me see. Yeah.
I mean we kind of covered
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of mindless crap over the year.
We
So
yeah,
just
that we
want to make
did.
sure you are updated on it being more
Yes.
mindless. So all
Yes.
right, so what you talk about, Willis?
Well, I mean, I feel like Gen Z, I'm gonna guess Gen Z more so than any other gen, takes random words and then just adds, right? So like we're gonna go with our anniversary here. Like it's a friend anniversary, it's a single anniversary, everything's over. It's a this,
Mm-hmm.
it's a, and then you have to have the right 6 months or it's 4 months or whatever it is, and then there's the well, this is the first time we met or this is the first time we swiped, and this there's too many versaries.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one, stick with it. Every, when
Yeah.
you overversary everything, it kind of takes
It
away from the true
it
meaning of
takes
what it
yeah.
is. And let's
It
just
takes
have,
away from it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need too many. Stop.
It takes away the specialness of it,
Yeah.
the
I
rarity
mean,
of it. So
you can have special moments every day of your life. Have gigantic special moments periodic.
there you go. My
That's
what
mine.
you talking about, Willis, has really nothing to do with that, but it was something that kind of caught my attention while I was doom scrolling. Now, okay, when you're moving through a crowded place and you're trying to alert people that, hey, I'm right
Hmm.
behind you and I'm just
Yeah.
moving through,
Yeah.
do you touch people?
Dep- Depends. Sometimes yes,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes no. I think more often than not I do because I want to try and like put my hand before like my boob brushes
Mm-hmm.
up, or I want
Right.
to like make sure that they don't back in and step on my foot or whatever. But yeah, I think that's frowned upon these days, isn't it?
Well, so what I'll do is I'll put my hand like kind of up here on the back
Right.
shoulder, like
Yes.
if it's a guy
Yes.
or a woman, just like, hey, I'm right here,
Yeah.
moving through, just kind of a
Right.
pat and then move on.
Yeah.
And I've never had an issue, not a problem. And if someone does it to me, not an issue.
It's fine. Yeah.
However, apparently there's been discussion that if someone, especially a man to a woman, touches you on the lower back or on the waist
Okay.
or the
Yeah.
hip,
Yeah.
not okay. That's a little too intimate. Now, back in our dating days,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you were at a bar and someone, touched your lower back or your waist, like, excuse me, depended on who it was, or what they looked like. But,
I mean, it's
I
going to be
never,
preferable in some cases, but I don't think
I don't think I've
I
ever
don't
been
feel like
offended
it's
by it,
I don't think
but
it's borderline assault. I don't think it's, I
right.
don't, people are going to, right. I don't think it's on the surface, if you're passing by and you just happen to, like, I think that's like a natural place where a man's hand goes, right? Like that.
Well,
Like he's
I
not.
think it can be considered a move,
Could
It could be
be.
considered a move.
It could be. It also could be considered that he wants to make sure I know that I'm like he's coming through and he's not being threatening, and that like it could go either way.
Right.
I think we sometimes go way too overboard with it. Also, I mean, if it's super loud and noise, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
that's fine.
some of the things I was seeing said, well, I'd prefer if you would say, excuse me. Well, it might
But
be
if
too
you're in a
loud and you don't
crowded,
hear me.
yeah, right,
Or
or
a
you don't know I'm
concert.
talking to you because your back is to me, or right,
Yeah.
shoulder is safe. I feel.
Yeah, I feel like a shoulder is safe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm not afraid to touch strangers, like not in a weird way, but just like in a,
Right. You
hey,
could tap on the
excuse
shoulder
me,
or on the
or,
arm or yeah.
whatever, something like that. But
Now
I don't know. People are getting a little crazy about it now. Like, don't touch
I will
me, my space, my body. It's like, whoa,
let me tell
easy.
you. It was probably well over 10 years ago, and we were at, it might have even been 15 years ago. We were at a high school football game, and there was a girl a student who was blowing a whistle. Like, you can't have whistles, you get fined, they take all the whistles away. And I was like, hey, like, don't blow the whistle. Like, there's a reason why you're gonna create, right? And she didn't give a fuck that somebody was, and I wasn't being rude or mean. And then I like tapped because she was in front of me in her hand, and I tapped her on the arm to say something to her, and she's like, "Don't touch me, that's assault." I'm like, look, it wasn't. I was doing it to get your attention. She was just being mad because she got her whistle taken away. It wasn't, a
Right.
40-cent whistle, honey. Relax. Like I get that you don't have any aspirations in life and you don't work hard for anything. And these, again, it's a high school football game. I know it's not that much, but to them it is. And like, if you blow this whistle and they get penalized and they lose the game, like that sucks for them because you're being a.
Right. You
Anyways,
ruined it.
you ruined it. So anyways, so that was, yes, I've had that happen to me where screaming and yelling at me.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
And so, I mean, again, I think we should thank our loyal listeners, viewers,
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
sticking with
Sonia.
us.
Thank you, PC. Thank you, Ev.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you to my handful of friends and family that are listening.
I won't thank my kids because they don't listen. Rude.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna keep going until we don't.
So we don't. And if we do decide to stop for a short period of time, boy, the day I retire and they can't come after me, it's a different conversation.
It absolutely is.
Different conversation,
absolutely
my friends.
Is. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we've just been enjoying having our weekly conversations and sharing them with everybody.
We crack ourselves up, I think, more than we crack anybody else.
It's like therapy.
It is.
It's the cheapest therapy around.
It's cheaper. Yeah, for real.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
all right, everybody. Yeah.
Enjoy your August. It's still summer. It's still summer. I don't care if the kids are going back to school and pumpkin spices all over the place. It's still summer. Stay in your lane.
It is.
Fall.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Back it up.
Yep.
All right.
No winter bananas yet.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace in the Middle East.